Yo, Jason here with Diomedes Industries with another one-take tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about how to sharpen a edger. Quite often people use a this is a number 2 edger. That's probably the most common for leather work. Number 1 is for a little bit thinner. And they don't know how to sharpen them. In fact, I read another guy in the forums that said he just throws them away, the Tandy ones. That's just crazy. Don't do that. You can sharpen them quite easily. I've been doing a little bit of edging just now with this 8 ounce, which is right up there on the shoulder. And it's not that it's doing a bad job. It's that it's a little hard to do. So you can see I'm still getting a good curl. But I want to touch this up a little bit if I can and make it a little bit easier. So let me see if I can show you what it looks like to edge with. You see how much pressure I'm having to put on here. With a duller one, and then show you how to sharpen one. So let me set that aside. What you're gonna need is a few things. Sandpaper and a couple of different grits and a strop. Strop is easy to make. All you need is a couple of different polishing compounds. These are buffing compounds. You can find them at any big box store. Get black, which is coarse, green, which is medium. These colors sometimes can change. Black and green are the most common. Sometimes they switch around. Just check the coarse grits or the grits listing and go with coarse and a medium or even a fine. I use 3, coarse, medium, and fine. And in my case, they're black, green, and pink. Sometimes those in particular are switched. So check it all out, but get coarse, medium, and fine. Also, get yourself 1,000 grit sandpaper. That's usually enough, but you can even jump up to 2,500 grit. Easy to find these at auto parts stores. They sell auto parts, and in the section where they talk about and have sell items for paint, they sell these really high grits. 1,000's probably enough, 1,000 and 1,500, 1,000 and 2,000, something like that, okay? And then make yourself a strop. I've got a 4-sided strop. Here it's got black, green, pink, and plain. You don't really need all that. You can make yourself a couple of strops just with a strip of leather, rub that compound on it like a crayon, and you're good to go. Tandy even sells a very cheap one, but if you've got leather, you can make one. So, how do we do it? Well, you can see then that I've already edged this sheath, so you can see the radius that it creates. So that's a number 2 radius. A number 1 would be a little bit less steep. And so what you can do is you take a piece of leather that you have radiused and you wrap the edge with it with a piece of sandpaper. And start with 1,000 first. That's a little more coarse. And I'm just going to use this corner because I don't need very much. And then draw this backwards. Don't push it or you'll end up trying to cut the paper. You're essentially, just like you do with a razor, stropping it. And you're stropping it on an edge that is sharp enough to get into that little place with those 2 ears that you can see right there. So you normally would push forward, don't do that, pull back. And do that a couple of times on fresh paper until it gets easier to do so, which it's doing right now. So I think that that's properly stropped. You don't have to worry about the inside so much. Set apart that 1,000. Grab the 2,500. This is crazy fine sandpaper. So you're way up there in grits. Again, until that gets easy, which it's doing right now. And you can take your time. I rock it, rocking motion. So it's going through the whole sweep of that thing, of that piece, that tool on the inside of there. So you can see how shiny that is. Then you grab your strop, whatever that looks like, and grab the edge, and same thing, strop down it. And I've used black compound to load up the edge of that. You want it right on the edge. Don't go forward or you'll start cutting leather. Do that until that becomes quite easy. Then your green compound. And it doesn't take a ton, especially in my case. It's pretty sharp. I'm just sort of touching this up. If it were really jacked up, I suppose you could start with, 400 grit, 600 grit, but you'd have to be really reprofiling that interior edge. I don't think you need to do that. But maybe if it's the first time you just dulled the Hades out of something. So now we're at pink compound. You see that black mark that comes off there? That's steel. Not a ton of it, but a little bit of it coming off on the compound. plain, which is by far the finest grit. And let's see if this is becoming easier. Right through it. That's the same off the same shoulder. So it's not like it's, oh my God, easier, but yeah, it's quite a bit easier. You can see what I'm getting there. So there's a one-take tutorial on how to sharpen these. I hope that clears up some questions. Don't throw them away anymore. In fact, I would buy something real nice, like a Weaver, or I think Barry King sells these. Other places do. Get one. They'll last a freaking lifetime if you keep them in good shape, and I just showed you how to. Good luck out there. Check me out at www.diomedesindustries.com, DIOMEDES industries.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye.